Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, AmusedJester. My name is Junior, and today we are going to be unboxing and reviewing the Tomy 1/350th scale Enterprise Refit ship. This is the Dicast one, and the reason why I'm shooting this, I was going to shoot this anyway for informational purposes, just in case something happens to this one. As you can see, there's a big gouge over here in my box. And it's so big that it actually cut through the corner protector. So I don't know how it's gonna affect my item. And also, this is quite open. I don't understand why it is. All right, so this is the area that had that cut. I'm amazed that it did not penetrate deeper than this, so I'm really happy. So assuming that this is the area that was the hardest hit, then any other parts that I saw a slight gash on should be pretty protected. So here it is, slight thing here of the refit. I think, I'm not sure anymore, it's kind of similar to how the original ship was like, where it's plain box and a little bit of sheep decal or sheep printing over here. There's nothing in the box, so nothing too exciting. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. We'll do a speed run of this opening, so at least you guys can see what's going on. Alright, so we know that this did not come with an adapter. I believe it came with a cable, but I'm not entirely sure. USB cable, yes it does. But the problem is, and I didn't mind that. You know, it's like, how much is a power adapter and everything. Here's the instruction booklet. Be careful. There seems to be something small here that I don't know what it's for. So that's included in this instruction booklet. And I don't believe there's anything else. I don't see anything. I wasn't expecting this, so be careful. What I did not like was that warning that we suddenly get that this is only supposed to accept 5 volts with a maximum 2.4 amps. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. I don't even know. I think there's a saying that it's not the voltage that kills you, it's the amps or something like that. I don't remember. But anyway, so I'm not sure. This is a very expensive item. I believe this is 600 or 700. I don't remember. But I definitely did not want a chance burning up my electronics, and I felt really frustrated that that was a surprise announcement again, because we had a surprise announcement with the TOS, you know, with the large gap in the holes of that's supposed to be covered up. Anyway, with the help of the community in the Facebook group, I was able to find the right, well, I'm hoping it's the right power adapter. So they said something like, well, it's 5 volts is 5 volts, don't worry about it. Don't worry about what they're saying, that it's got to be below 2.4 amps. Your machine will only draw that part. That's it requires. But there is a chance that something might blow up if for some reason the regulator is not speaking correctly and blah blah blah. I can't remember what the term is, and it might draw more than 5 volts. So from my understanding, I was gonna use this old one that I had lying around, which should be okay because it says 5.5 volts with a 2.4 or 2.4 amps or 2 amps, which is good. But then there was another one in the output that says it's also capable of putting out 19 volts with a 1.67 amps. And I think in this case you don't want to use this type of power adapter, just in case something goes wrong with this one or something goes wrong with the what, I don't know, amp or voltage regulator where it draws the 19 volts instead of the 5 volts. I don't know, but plus this is an old, as you can see, it's a really old adapter. It's got broken and everything, so I don't want to chance it. And I don't know if you're hearing, but there's rattling in there. So I got this one from Amazon. This one is a dedicated output to a USB-C, and it only has one possible output, which is 5 volts, and it's only capable of 2 amps. So that should be good, and that's all they required. Now, as you can see, it comes with 4 certificates. This in different languages. That's why I was wondering why 4. But here's the English one. That's all that really matters to me. But I guess you have, I would say, Italian, German, and French, probably. No Spanish that I can tell. No, yeah, this is not Spanish. This sounds like French, or reads like French. Anyway, so, and here's your warranty from Tomy, 12-month limited warranty. Oh, valid in the US only, so sorry guys. So there you go. You guys, you're not interested in that. Anyway, I'm gonna put that underneath the Batmobile for now. And we're gonna look at, oh, here's another, what's this one? So that's what that tool is used for the docking bay doors, so you can pull it out. Okay. And here is the thing. Here's the front parts list, which would be the Enterprise, the base, the 2 stands, the shuttlecraft. I don't know what that is. It comes with 2 USB cables. Here's the show of how it's packaged. That's good. And what's this? Pick up ship by saucer front and back. Place gently on base. So do not pick it up on the nacelles. Okay, do not. Then once you pick up the ship, well, first you have to remove the base first and then pick up the ship. Once you pick up the ship, there's another insert over here that's probably hiding something, which looks like it's the shuttlecraft and everything. Put the 2 front stands, put in the shuttle bay doors, and it seems like the shuttlecraft Surak has some sort of, not really assembly, but I guess assembly in a way. And the docking ring over there. Okay. Functions, operation, connect to USB, required not included is the USB adapter, but this does not have the warning that only put in 5 volts with no maximum of 2.4 amps. Does not have that warning. That's a very new warning for us, so there you go. Right? So let me go and set things up. Whoa, that was heavy, and I had to be very careful. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and put on the front supports. So the base is heavy. The base is made out of die cast. At least this whole part. The bottom part, which is just a flat, it's just plastic. Now this one, the pole is actually also made out of die cast, but it's only a die cast. It's not a solid die cast. It's a die cast pole, and inside that pole is the electronics, and what mounts to the Enterprise is the pins. I really want to show this. Hold on a second. I'm curious to see how easy it is to remove from the base once you put it on. There's, as far as I can see from the instructions, there's really no instructions on how to remove it. But if I'm going to remove this, I want to hold it by the neck. Luckily, there's nothing here that could break. I'm going to remove it by the neck and then have the whole saucer be supported by my forearm and then remove it from the base. I don't think there's any kind of locking mechanism at the base. It seems like you can just pick it up and remove it. Let's see what happens. But at the same time, as I'm lifting the ship, I'm going to push it off with my 2 fingers on the base here. Yeah, that's locked. So it doesn't say how you can remove it from the base. Alright, so unfortunately I could not find any video or any information as yet how to remove this properly. I'm not going to force it. But I do remember when I put it down, it felt like there was a click and there was a small stub off to the side where I feel like that's what's locking it. I just don't know. There's nothing in the instructions to state how it's supposed to be removed. I'm just basically doing a flyby, and you can see the pearlescent Aztec painting that they did on this one with my flash on just to show off. It's not intrusive at all, the Aztecing. In fact, it's very, very subtle. It's basically as subtle as what you're seeing on the camera right now. It's a little bit more pronounced because of the pearlescent effect going on, and you can see that's only on this sections of the ship. This one doesn't have it. That pearlescent covering, that shininess, that glimmer going on. And wow, okay, so you guys can see this more than I am. The arboretum, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to zoom in because right now it's all dark for me because I'm at the wrong level. Let's see if I can zoom in on the inside and see what's gonna happen. It's too dark. Anyway, so ooh, what is that? Oh no! Some sort of paint defect. Oh, and it's like really is a paint defect. I'm gonna have to. I don't know. That's. Can I just like maybe, hopefully, rub it off? It's pretty raised. You can see it's pretty raised up there. I think I'm gonna have to call customer service for that. Like, oh, here's another one here too. If you can see, this is a natural nub, so that's part of the sculpture. But then, if you look at this part, that's a paint lift or something. And it's literally the same size as the nub. So it's like, in scale wise, it's kind of like egregious. very sharp and crisp on the decal. See that? That's like zoomed in, very sharp. I mean, like other than, I mean, it's really, really sharp painting. But I'm seeing more of the detail, and I'm seeing more of any kind of defect as I'm looking through the camera screen. It's much easier for me to detect any kind of defect. Because without this, I'm just pretty much getting blown away by the general look of it. I just saw another one. I'm at this point, I'm like, I guess kind of getting too nitpicky. But those two spots with the paint, that's kind of big. Like I just saw someone over here, but if I can't find it, I'm okay with it. You know, those ones were just like you can't not see it. Oh, here it is. That was just dirt. Gotta be careful as I turn this, make sure I don't hit. Actually, I'm gonna, hold on a second. I had to move the table away just to make sure I don't make the mistake of hitting my display cabinet. Somebody mentioned that the painting on the bridge or the saucer, this part of the saucer section, is incorrect. I don't know. It's and they said that it was confirmed that it was incorrect, but I don't know what the difference is, so I'm okay with that. This is meant to be like that, so that's good. Dirt here. Here's another one. Wait, is that? Oh, that's an actual sculpting detail right here. Here's one here. See that right there? But I don't know, man. It's like, except for those 3 spots, the paint is perfect. From what I can see, it's kind of a bummer. It's like I don't want to deal with customer service at all. I just wanted my piece to be good enough and just leave it, you know. So it's a bummer because it's a beautiful paint job to have that one blemish. Kind of bummer. The pearlescent there, like and then here in the wings, and here's the shuttlecraft, the shuttle bay. Right, that's pretty cool. And we're gonna zoom in. Oops, sorry. I think that's the captain's room. Man, you guys are seeing more stuff than I am right now. Okay, let's see what's the underside like. So, there she is, and as you can see, there is a slight lean forward on the ship. Very slight. Um, but I feel, and I wanted to show this off, I feel like the construction on this pole is really, really good. It's just, because of this mass over here, it's going to pull it downward. But I feel like, oh, there's a gap. See that? There's a gap in my ship. Yeah, I'm definitely going to bring this up with Tomy. But then again, now you're going to have to deal with, like, okay, is this, the one I'm going to get, is it going to be worse off than this one or not? You can see the inside. You can see it, right? I don't have to point it, but in case you guys don't see it, see? Yeah. You see it now as I move the camera back and forth. What was I saying? So you really don't need the forward stands, and the forward stand is metal as well, die-cast metal. Let me put this on the stand. Oh, also, so the stands come with these small thing that is basically what's gonna is gonna be holding it up. And how it feels is this is not flat. There's an actual outside ring here, but it's hard plastic. So I'm actually more afraid what this will do to the paint over time as it's in contact. These two connectors, they only connect on specific rods. So as you can see, the key on this one is off to the side, and the key to this one is off to the top. So they'll only connect one way. Now the problem is the instructions tell you to put the ship on the base and then put the stands on. Well, the problem is now that it's leaning forward, you have to lift the upper section of the saucer up in order for this to fit, right? Because of course this has to be level and it's leaning forward. Therefore, it's you need to lift it up to make it fit. So it's up to you. Before you put on the ship, you might consider putting on these first and then rest the ship on top of it. Either way, if you decide not to have the forward pole, it might not be necessary, to be honest. But yeah, so here is the shuttlecraft Surak. Aside from those decals, it doesn't seem like it's painted. And this is plastic, by the way. There's nothing in the front. And this is the actual, I guess, shuttle pod. This is the one, this is the warp core or warp nacelles, and then this one detaches. And this attaches to the back of the part here. And there is a small thing here, and it's not like you can see that it even has the door out there, and it attaches like that. I'm not gonna plug it all in all the way. I don't really need to. Here's the bottom of the ship and everything, and this, I believe, probably goes on like that. And then this one looks like it's another key. This is kind of funny. The key feels like it's super big. And then there's this, I don't know what this is for. Oh, I'm sorry. This goes on. That's why the key is bigger than I expected. This is to, if you want to display it as it's approaching the Enterprise, and the pod itself is detaching from the engine, I suppose. And I don't really mind doing it like this, since this is just plastic. It's funny though, in the instruction this was black instead of like that. And then why is it supposed to be like this? Yes, it's supposed to be like that. Or if you want, then you can just remove this and have this one attached directly to this one. I suppose I should show that too as well. Now this is basically what's gonna, this ring is gonna attach to that ring, which is gonna be hard for me to do since I'm doing it one-handed. But there you go. That's how it looks. This is kind of like an interesting thing, but I'm not. I don't know. Anyway, let me go ahead and plug it in, and I'll try to plug this in, and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. As you can see, it wasn't really that much of an issue. Now, there's really no way, as I said, the top part of this one, the nub, are specific to each pole, but there's really nothing that says each pole is specific to an area or side. So it seems to work, and as you can see, that's how it connects. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna leave this on. I feel like the center pole is strong enough to support it, but it's not as obtrusive as one might think. You can see it, of course, now, but my background is dark anyway, so that's gonna be disappearing, and I can see why they didn't use acrylics in this one. I feel like it's gonna bend and not do anything at all. So I have this plugged in right now, so we're gonna experience this for the first time together. Press this or hold 3 seconds. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. And this thing, this button over here, I think it's more of a touch sensitive rather than an actual button that you push. There, it's coming on, blinking, blinking. I'm gonna turn off my flash, and there she is. Oh, and there she is. Man, this, what's... I have to say this, but like, it feels like if they had... Like, this needs sound. Is that powered on already? How about the warp nacelles? You can see a glimpse of light going on here on the outside. Nothing on the inside. At this point, let's look at the instructions again. Did they even say anything about the functions of these things over here? Okay, so there is right here. Press and hold button A for 3 seconds to power on. Press button A, mode select to cycle through functions. You have 5 functions: startup mode, underway mode, impulse power mode, full power mode, and warp speed mode. That's to cycle through. You just press the mode select, which is this one. And like I said, this is not a button. It's more of a touch sensor. So press 1, startup mode, which we did. Underway mode, second press. And you see that light up over there. I should zoom out. Oh, and then look at the front. Turn blue. So that's underway mode. Impulse power mode. Let's see what happens. Impulse power mode. I don't see any changes, but the reflector did change color. This one disappeared, and I forgot to mention this one right here is lighting up a little. I'll turn off my lights a little bit later on. So that's supposed to be impulse power mode. Here's full power mode. Did I press that? I must have, because this one came back on. This is blue again. I don't see any changes to... Oh, let's do warp speed then. Trying to get an angle where you can see it. This is supposed to be warp speed. I mean, this one turned off, but nothing on the nacelles. There you go. Turn blue on the interior. You have this part right here. That's warp speed, which is accurate to the show, but I kind of wish this also lit up the side outside here. Now you can see there it is. They were concerned about the light bleeding or the light bleeding, like certain spots not being bright enough. You can kind of see it here and here a little bit more on the camera, but not too noticeable in life. Like really, it just I can kind of see it, but the more you stare at it, the more it kind of blinds your eyes anyway. So it doesn't affect me too much. You can see that the lights are flashing. Oh, and then you can see that. Oh, let's look at underneath. By the way, and the phaser. That's pressing 3 times, so the phasers are now firing. But it's not like you press and it fires. No, you need to do 3 taps. 1, 2, 3. Or am I supposed to hold 3 times? No, there it goes. There's the captain's cabin. You can see the lounge chair in there. Can we zoom in on that some more? You can see stairs in there. That is funny. Look at that. Uh-oh. There you go. That's better. Like peeking into the captain's cabin. And there's something off to the side. It's a lounge chair and everything. What's the thing to make this light up? Let's see. I believe this is startup or warm. Oh, there you go. Nope. That's underway. I'm trying to make these guys light up. That's the warp. You can see this is lighting up. I know it's gotten. I just want to make sure the lights are coming up. Anyway, okay. I'll have to get back on this. I don't know why. That's one of the things I need to check up on. Make sure all the lights are coming on. Here's the shuttle bay. No shuttlecraft, guys. No shuttlecraft. Why did I mean, like, why not include at least one of the small shuttlecrafts, and do it in, like plastic? I'll print my own. Nice lit up area though. I'm gonna go ahead and power it back on, and hopefully we'll see something happen to these lights. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. So you can't do that in reverse. You can't just hold on the power on and have it come up. Here, it's powering on now. And again, no lights in the back. Is it still cycling through? See, that lights comes on. See the lights here come on. See that in front. Let's turn on the warp. Still no lights for these two. And there, that has to be supposed to lit up, because I don't see any other areas that would indicate that it has a bulb but does not light up. Maybe if I do phaser power fire. Okay, it's firing now, but that's still not lighting up. I'm gonna have to go to the group and see what's going on. So I've turned off my lights so we can see. Now remember that gap that I was referring to over here? Look, there's no light leaking on that one. So I'm gonna let that pass, because that's my main concern, was if there was gonna leak light because there's a gap. There is a slight over here, but it's not noticeable to me. So I'm like, I don't even know if I want to report the blemish here on the side. Tomy, you're making... I don't know. It's like, I don't want to risk getting a worse off. Oh, you know what? I will, because I don't know what's going on with these two. But here, this is an interesting thing that they did. Look, it looks like there's an actual shot, or a camera shot over there. But what they did was they're actually lighting it from the inside. So that's kind of cool, but it's not on the other side. That's only on one side.
Okay.
Now we're not bothered by the background lights. And we can just look at the ship as it is. This one, it's not completely realistic. It doesn't have the soft, like for example here, where it has a soft here. I think this is done the same way. I think no, it's an actual light. So see how this is soft as it diffuses. This one is just too sharp. So, but it's still nice effect, because it's, if it was being lit from here, then this should be softer as it fades out. Oh yeah, so how does it look out in the front? Because we know, I was kind of hoping that there would be like some, like this shot, like there. Oh, light leak. I was gonna show you this shot, but then we saw that light leak going on. I wish the light had focus over here. I've seen some modelers do a more successful job, but for what we paid for, I think I'm okay. I'm actually more kind of disappointed with this one, but I'm not reporting that part. I'm okay. I can live with that. How is it on the other side? There's nothing. Where's that light? There's nothing on this side. Oh, there's a slight. I can see it now. Slight one. Everything else, but that's, I think that's gonna be okay, because that's basically the two halves meeting. So I'm okay with that. There's no way you're gonna be able to get rid of that. There's just no way. Oh, look, there's no lights here. And that's in this part too. No lights there. So these pair of lights don't have anything coming on, but it does feel like they're supposed to. There's nothing on here. There's nothing off to here. And then there's nothing on the two back ones. Right now, what would this video be without the original Enterprise I'm gonna have to try to pull back. I don't have enough room right now. Trying to do it as slowly as I can so you guys don't get dizzy. Forgive that mine is on a different stand. I made that stand up all on my own. Maybe Tommy got the idea of copying my idea of having a metal base. This is basically steel, and I made these bolts up over here and everything. Anyway, so I think here you go. You can see the difference in terms of paint. So this is realistic to the way it was in the filming model, and then this is to the things. I was really surprised at how kind of grayish looking the original Enterprise was. But as cool as the nacelles are in this one, these spinning ones, they're just like freaking classic. And sorry, I'm trying to pull back as much as I can. I'm kind of like against my wall here. We'll go to the top and see if we can get the comparison in terms of the size from the top. I don't know what you guys are seeing because I'm now out of sight of the screen. I think in terms of, if you guys want to know how long they are compared to each other, you're gonna have to go into the Facebook group and see. Somebody took a shot of them side by side to determine the length and the width and everything, but I can't move any further than this, unfortunately. Like, this is so simple, and yet it's the original, you know. Sorry, mine's kind of dusty. But yeah, all my lights are still working. I actually left the batteries on the saucer for almost an entire year, and it's still working. So I'll remove that after this demo. But the Aztec painting on this one is quite amazing. I believe these lights don't come on. It doesn't seem like they might be coming on, and might be the same thing for the back one. For the original Enterprise, it has things that we thought were supposed to be lit, but they weren't. Even this side over here, these sides of the corner were not meant to be lit up by Tomy. So I'll verify though, just to make sure that I don't have the defective one. But yeah, look at how big these what do you call those warning lights are. And yeah, oh man, you really can see now how dirty this is. I'm gonna have to clean it up. Oh, sorry, Enterprise. Now the thing of it is that, let me tell you a little backstory on these two. When this was first announced, this is not the Enterprise that I wanted, because this is not the Enterprise I grew up on. This is the Enterprise that I grew up on. This is the Enterprise that I really wanted. But it was such a unique offering that I really wanted it to succeed. So what I wanted was for this to succeed. So I went ahead and bought and backed this one. I actually bought two of them, hoping that it would be successful enough to produce the one that I wanted. That's how much I wanted this one. And even though this had a few hiccups in terms of production, a lot of customers were disappointed and dropped their orders, it was still very successful enough that Tomy went ahead and produced this one. Luckily, they didn't drag on the process. Like, they did a few, like, I think Back to the Future stuff, but immediately after this one, I think maybe the Klingon Bird of Prey was next, but this came out, and I was like super happy. I know it's like 2-3 years after this, I'm super happy that they did go through this one. There, I mean, like, look, I I'm somewhat disappointed by the power adapter mishap. I think looking at back now, I was very very much afraid because I wanted this so much to be very very good, and that I did not want to damage the electronics and everything. That the chance that I might choose the wrong power adapter, really made me kind of afraid I might blow up the electronics. But so I think that's a mishap on their part. For one thing, I think Tomy should have put down lists of what's acceptable or what's maybe not make a big deal out of it, since a lot of the people who knows more about amps and voltage seems to think, what's the big deal, Tomy? You're just you know so I had to go to the community to be relieved of that panic mode. But so I think that's more of their mishap than anything else. The gap on the side, I really don't mind. There's nothing showing or anything. The light bleed on this corner, as you can see, you can't tell on the lights. This is the worst one right there in the front, but I'm gonna be okay with that. I really am. You guys might not be, but that's gonna be an issue you'll have to take up with Tomy. Somebody was mentioning that the grooves in this one are too deep. It doesn't scale. I don't really mind that too. That's up to you. As you can see, that's how it looks. I'm okay with it and everything. The mishap on the paint over here on the bridge, I have no idea what the differences are, so that's nothing on me. But it has been mentioned by somebody who has, I believe, worked on the original, that it was noticed, but it was noticed too late or something like that. And Tomy, and they said that Tomy was frustrated that they weren't able to capture it briefly enough, and I suppose change it enough, So I don't know about that, but again, for me, it doesn't really matter. Um, the the arboretum, I can't see it. It's cool. It's cool that it's there. I know that the some of the most expert modelers have made the same thing, so it's cool that it's there. The captain's cabin, that's amazing. The detail that they put in there. The shuttlecraft, I kind of wish that they added the small shuttlecraft as they did with the original, so you can put something inside the shuttle bay. I'm gonna have to find out some shuttlecrafts that I can put in there. I can print it now, so it's not a problem for me. The only mishap that I want to think over was the paint defect that I saw on top of the deflector array. Um, I will contact Tomy and see what their solution is on that. Yeah, because it's pretty hard. It's not. I'm like, it's as hard as a sandpaper, like a 60 grit sandpaper. And I was kind of hoping that by rubbing it or doing a little bit of this, it will come off, but it might chip off the paint more worse than before. But everything else is just everything that I could have hoped for. And you can see more towards it's not straightforward on the blue lights of the nacelles or the warp nacelles. But again, I think I'm okay with that. I'm sure it could have been remedied. I'm just not sure. I think they tried their best in that one. And some people say this thing's still making noise. Actually, I kind of like that noise. Kind of makes me feel like it's actually moving. This is so quiet. It's like watching any Star Trek movie with the volume off. That's which is kind of, I wouldn't say it's unfortunate, but it's, it's lacking the sound, unfortunately. But yeah. Anyway, I bought, when this thing came out, I bought two of them. I wasn't even thinking of flipping it or anything. I was even contemplating buying all five that's available, because it was 600, but then it would have been like over $3,000 or something. I mean, that's how much I believed in this one, and I could not believe people did not follow this. Honestly, a fully die cast ship, and I wasn't even thinking of flipping it. It's just like people are crazy not to have followed this one, because I feel like this was such a great deal. This also has a bridge layout over there, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I sold off my second one because it was such a big thing. Anyway, it's a big item, and it's been just in my storage, and I sold it for, was it 2,000 or 2,500? I'm like, I cannot believe, it went up that high. But yeah, I wasn't gonna sell it any less, because it's so worth it. Honestly, 600 for this one. Even this one, I'm telling you guys, I hope you guys pre-ordered this one. It's not gonna get released, as this is not gonna get released anymore. Even if they do release something similar to this one, it'll have to be completely, like, you might do the very first version where it has the tips on the, what do you call it, Bazaar collectors, whatever. Yeah, I hope you, I mean, if you're a Star Trek fan, I hope you did. This is premium. This is more premium than anything that Hasbro's made, because remember, Hasbro's all plastic. This is fully die cast. This is, and even with this one, with the disappointment of the plugs being seen, because they promised that will be all sanded over and all clear. Even with that, this is still worth it. This, I believe this is $699, and it's all worth the $699. This should be over $1,000. The the work that they did, is it 100% accurate? Apparently not. I can't tell. But the work that they did, and everything surpasses the price that they put in there. I did make a post that this is going to be the last of my Tomy purchases. It's not because of the quality of product that they produce. I believe the quality is top notch. Yes, aside from the fact that mine does have the paint defect, this one came out perfect. There's none that I can see on this one. Aside from those paint defect, the quality is top notch. I kid you not. I have no fear that this base might be insufficient. I could even remove this one, and I feel comfortable with that. I feel more comfortable removing this because I'm really afraid that the contact with the paint would later damage it more than anything else. And I don't really mind about the lean down on the saucer. Yeah, I feel like they just need. It was just a presentation. There's some miscommunications that I feel Tomy could have handled better. The surprise amps in the voltage and adapter, I feel like they should have announced that earlier on. It felt almost like that they were hiding it. They already had the bad rap from the original series Enterprise, and it feels like they're trying to mask it. So I think like they could have done a few things better. But for the product itself, it's top notch. And like I said, I believe like this thing is easily worth $1,000, comparable to what Hasbro's doing. It's plastic. They're slowly getting out of any kind of playable functions, mechanics, and everything, for their medium-priced ships. They do still have lights on. Actually, they didn't have lights on the Ghost, didn't they? They didn't have lights on the Ghost. They also don't have lights on the Razor Crest. Okay. Yeah, it's ugh. so worth it. So worth it. And I really hope you guys got it. Do I regret not getting to? No. I'm not in this hobby to sell and make profit. I'm in this hobby to enjoy what I want, and this is very much enjoyable. I think that's pretty much it for my review. If you guys, I might do another one where it's just quiet and I'm just like really enjoying the shots of the ship and everything else. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you guys found this kind of informative, enjoyable, and I'll try to edit it to make it sense a little bit more. And I'll see you guys on my next review. Bye.